Hello, everyone. This is Chris again coming at y'all with another movie review, but it's in a different format this time. Last week I saw a bunch of movies, but unfortunately I didn't have time to do movie reviews for all of them. And also, to be honest, I was feeling a little lazy, but I still wanted to get the bang for my buck and do some movie reviews for those movies I saw. So, with that in mind, I've got three movies I'm going to give you guys a quick review for. So, let's go ahead and get started reviewing these movies. So, the first movie that we're going to talk about is Baby Driver, directed and written by Edgar Wright. Basic plot of the movie is a young getaway driver. He does getaway drives for a crime gang and whatnot, doing bank jobs and all that stuff. But he ends up falling in love with a girl named Deborah at a diner, and that sort of interferes with his life, and some crazy adventures go on from there. And this was yet another movie of this recent trend of movies really hyping up their Rotten Tomato score. I think this movie, last I checked, was at 95%, and they've been showing that in commercials, just hyping the movie up of how good it was. It turns out they were right because I actually thought this was a really, really fun movie, man. It's got a lot of style. I love that it's an original story. I mean, that's something that you just don't see in the summertime. It's all about big blockbuster franchises, which I do like that stuff. But every so often, there's something to see something fresh and original. And that's what this movie definitely is, man. It's funny, good style. It's a lot of fun. Edgar Wright, he brings just a lot of flair to the movie, and that's really good. The action when it is there is very enjoyable. Overall, I just really enjoyed this film, man. Definitely one of the best movies of the year, I thought, and something that, like I said, definitely was a nice surprise. All the cast did a good job, and it's a movie I would definitely recommend people to go see. So I would end up giving the movie probably an 8.5 is my score for Baby Driver. So definitely a good movie, and let's move on to the next movie. So this next review comes from a franchise which everyone is aware of, and that is the Despicable Me franchise. Despicable Me 3, that is the fourth installment in the Despicable Me series, because you got Despicable Me 1 and 2, and then the Minions movie from 2015. And plot of this movie, we've all seen it. Gru finds his brother, and really some other random storylines to go along with that. And for me, I really enjoy Despicable Me 1 and 2. I actually think 2 is better than part one. I think both of those movies were really good animated films, had a lot of heart, and were pretty funny. But I thought that Minions movie was just awful. For me, that was one of the worst movies of 2015. I hated that movie so damn much. It was just so stupid. This movie, however, I was hoping that it would get back to what I enjoyed about the Despicable Me movies prior. I gotta say that this isn't a bad movie, I would say. It's just kind of underwhelming. I mean, there's good stuff in there. There are some good laughs. I mean, it still has some of the stuff that worked in parts one and two, like the humor, some of the characters, the minion antics. They get some laughs and whatnot. It just doesn't feel all that inspired. I think the movie was lacking the heart of one and two. I thought in those movies, Gru had some really good character development, and he was a character that you enjoyed seeing the story and changes he was going through. This movie, even though they've got a storyline with their brother coming in, it really doesn't have much of that, man, and that's why I felt it was kind of an underwhelming story. And the Minions, man. I mean, I know lots of people love the Minions. They're really kind of shoehorned into this movie. I mean, it's just a random side story with them going on in this movie, as well as a bunch of other storylines that really don't connect to the main plot at all. And it feels like they were just putting storylines in there just to fill time. So, like I said, I didn't hate the movie. I actually thought I was having fun for a little bit. Gru was still entertaining for me. I think he's still always a really fun character to watch. I think Steve Carell just does a really, really great job with that voice. It's just so much fun to listen to. And besides him, some other characters I really enjoy were Lucy. I really enjoyed her. Agnes, that little girl, she is just so damn adorable. And Balthazar Blatt, the film's villain, he was kind of entertaining at times. But ultimately, this was a film that was just sort of there. It just sort of left me underwhelmed just because of its story. And really, I'm not too upset because I did end up seeing this movie for free. I won't say how or why. I just know I saw it for free, so that's why I'm not too upset by what I saw. But ultimately, not a movie I hated. It's just sort of there. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. I think it's decent enough for kids and whatnot, but it's not as memorable or enjoyable as parts one and two. And the final movie I'll be reviewing in this video is War for the Planet of the Apes, the third installment in this recent critically acclaimed Planet of the Apes series, which began with 2011's Rise of the Planet of the Apes and then 2014's Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And really, those two movies were some of the best blockbusters in recent years, man. I mean, they were so damn smart, great special effects, great story, great character development, and it really just set up a nice sort of prequel series for the original Planet of the Apes films. And like I said, those movies were just so damn great. I loved part one, and I thought part two was even better. And for me, with them bringing the whole creative team back for this movie, there was just no doubt in my mind that this was going to be another great installment, and it is, man. I mean, it's got everything that made the previous films great. I mean, the effects, the emotion, the character development, the performance by Andy Serkis. It's just all just top notch, man. And it really comes together to make just what is just a great character driven story. I mean, it's really a lot of the trailers hyped up the movie to be this epic war flick. And while there is some of that in the movie, and this is really just a movie just about character, man, about character, sacrifice, and really just the journey that Caesar has been on throughout these movies and all the stuff he has to go through and what makes him him and dealing with humans and humanity and whatnot. It's all just great stuff, man. And it all comes together to make just a great movie. And once again, a showcase of some of the best special effects I've ever seen with how they do these apes. I mean, to me, it's a crime that neither Dawn or Rise won the Academy Award for Best Special Effects. So these are just some fantastic special effects, and War for the Planet of the Apes is no exception. There's a little girl named Nova who we've seen in the posters and some of the trailers for this movie. She's a little girl who has a disability, which I'm not going to spoil because it is important to the story of this movie. And she ends up going along with the apes. And oh my God, man, she pulled my heartstrings unlike any character in a long, long time, man. Her relationship with these apes and the role that she plays in the story and some of the moments she has. I mean, that was just. I think that might, along with the character development and the great effects and whatnot, I enjoyed her character along with those things, man, just as much because it just made for some really great heartfelt moments in this movie, unlike anything I felt in a long, long time. The only complaint that I do have is that, like I said, they did hype up this movie, highlighting the war aspect of the movie. And to me, that's where the movie disappointed just a little bit, just because there wasn't a whole lot of that in the movie. But that's just, I'm not going to make that a major complaint, just because in its place, there's just so much good stuff in this movie to where it is another great installment and great conclusion to this trilogy of eight films. So I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Probably the best movie I've seen this summer. I don't know. I've had some other stuff I've really enjoyed also, like Spider-Man, but Apes is definitely just a great all around movie and one of the best movies of the year also. So anyway, those are my reviews for this past week. Thanks to all of you who've watched and enjoyed this. Thank you to everyone who supported this channel in terms of my movie reviews and the movie tributes I do because I really appreciate it. And if you guys enjoy that, more stuff is always going to keep coming, whether it's movie tributes or movie reviews. So look out for that stuff. And I'll see you all around with another video.